and soil fertility decline and its restoration. So we have seen up to now in the last lecture what is soil fertility, how it is different from soil productivity, what is the difference between fertility and productivity, what are the characteristics of a fertile, highly fertile and highly productive soils, and then what are the factors that affect the soil fertility or components of soil fertility. Today we are going to discuss soil fertility decline and its restoration. As the name suggests, soil fertility decline. That means soil fertility is getting reduced. There may be decline in fertility. I have shown you some data sometimes back about India, perhaps in the last lecture, the status of soil fertility in India. Any country, anywhere you see the nutrient status of soils are continuously declining. Anywhere. So we will see what are the reasons for soil fertility decline. You have seen that 50% soils are deficient in nitrogen, 44% soils are deficient in zinc, 33% soils are deficient in boron. Likewise, some other soils may be deficient in copper, sulfur, this and that. So everywhere you will find nutrient deficiencies are there. In some cases, there may be toxicities. Like in acidic soils, you may have iron toxicity, aluminum toxicity, and so forth. So you have a lot of problems which are related to soil fertility. In some places, you will have very low levels of soil organic matter. The levels of organic matter are continuously declining in most of the field conditions, particularly in tropical areas or subtropical areas of the world. I can say organic matter content is declining. I have shown you some evidences where the organic matter content has declined. I have seen, for example, this Govind Ballabh Pant University, Pantnagar. It was developed on foothills of Himalayas. At that time, it was a forest area, and the land was cleared and university was established. That time, organic matter content might be 5% or 6% in the soil, but now it may be less than 2%. So what I mean to say, within a shorter period of time, the organic matter content has declined. So it is happening everywhere, and we need to understand the reasons for decline in soil organic matter also. A lot of physical degradation is happening. Soil erosion is happening. So there are number of causes for decline in fertility. So first we must be sure that soil fertility has declined. Okay, if it has declined, then what are the reasons for this deterioration or decline? So today you have learning objective, explain the reasons for decline of soil fertility. So first we need to understand what is decline in fertility. Then we can understand the reasons of decline. Then describe the strategies for restoring the fertility. Okay, my fertility has declined. Then what should I do? What should I do? If I know the reasons for decline, then I can take up the corrective measures. So first, it is better to understand the reasons. But before that, some minor terminology, I think you know it. Acidification, alkalization, ammonia volatilization. You can go through these terminology. Minimum tillage, stubble, salinization, pollution, etc. So please go through this terminology. This is very simple, refreshing your memories. So now let us see what is soil fertility decline or what is decline in soil fertility. It means the decline in soil fertility, mainly chemical soil fertility, means decrease in soil organic matter, decrease in cation exchange capacity, decrease in plant nutrient, and adverse soil pH. So this is mainly related to chemical soil fertility. Means the decline in soil fertility means decrease in soil organic matter, cation exchange capacity, plant nutrients, and adverse soil pH. That is your decline in soil fertility. So soil fertility decline thus includes, what are there broadly? Nutrient depletion. Nutrient depletion means larger removal than addition of nutrients. Nutrient mining. large removal of nutrients and no inputs. So please try to understand difference in nutrient depletion and nutrient mining. Nutrient mining means you are just removing the nutrients and you are not giving anything back to the soil. You are just mining, taking out, taking out. That is mining, means doing farming, doing production without adding any nutrient. That is known as nutrient mining. And nutrient depletion or removal is larger removal than addition of nutrient. That is known as nutrient depletion. So here you are adding the nutrient, but you are depleting more, you are removing more. That is known as nutrient depletion. Very minor difference in nutrient depletion and nutrient mining. Then acidification or alkalization, I will discuss in detail. So this is also leading to chemical decline in chemical soil fertility, loss of soil organic matter, we will discuss, and increase in toxic elements and soil pollutants. So soil fertility declines means all this is happening. All this is happening in the soil and it will result in the decline of soil fertility. Now, what are the causes? Why this decline is there? Number one, loss of topsoil by erosion. Number two, nutrient mining. Number three, physical degradation of soil, that is poor structure. So sometimes poor management can result in poor soil structure. Compaction can happen in soil, crusting and waterlogging. So some physical degradation may be there or increase in physical degradation. Then decrease in organic matter content and soil bioactivity. So they are interrelated. If your organic matter goes down, your microbial or soil organism activity will go down. Loss of nutrients through various routes, different routes are there, volatilization, leaching. Then soil acidification, salinization, alkalization, and inefficient soil management. This is in the hand of growers or farmers. Then soil pollution. So we'll discuss in brief, very brief. I think you know what is soil erosion. Soil erosion is your detachment, transport, and accumulation of soil particle from one place to another place is called as soil erosion. It is detachment, transport, and accumulation of soil particles from one place to another place, mainly by action of wind or water. That process is known as soil erosion. So in soil erosion, topsoil is removed, and topsoil is rich in nutrients, microbe, and organic matter. Means we are losing soil fertility. So soil fertility decreases substantially due to soil erosion, and if the nutrients in soils are eroded, with the transported water, and they can problem. So not only this, we are losing the nutrient. These nutrients can accumulate in water bodies, and there it can create eutrophication, like certain phosphorus. Phosphorus is mainly removed or lost by erosion. The major loss mechanism of phosphorus is by erosion. Phosphorus does not leach much into the soil. It does not evaporate. It does not volatilize. The major loss mechanism of phosphorus from soil is by erosion. So phosphorus or nitrogen can reach water bodies and do the eutrophication. Then there may be death of fishes, problem in shipping, and lot of reduction in beautification of water bodies and so on. So eutrophication can also occur. And soil erosion, what are the reasons for soil erosion? I think you understand what are the reasons, like cutting of forest, grazing of animals, and there is no protection of soil, or there is no soil cover. There are a variety of reasons are there for soil erosion. Now, nutrient mining and nutrient depletion, both can be taken here. So uptake of more nutrients by crop plants than added by different sources, called as nutrient mining. This is nutrient removal. Very thin line in nutrient removal and nutrient mining. So presently becoming an important limitation in intensive crop production. So every time we are harvesting crops again and again, taking high yielding varieties, and those intensive crop rotation remove large quantities of nutrients, and same are not returned back to the soil. So overall, every time we grow the crop, negative balance happens and soil is getting depleted. So therefore, your productivity will go down. Now you see this picture. So what happens, this intensive cropping and growing of high yielding varieties or hybrids, you increase crop yields. So biomass is harvested, large biomass is harvested, which needs more nutrient. If you remove more biomass from the field, you are also removing more nutrients from the soil, and thus many soils are unable to supply those large quantities for the subsequent crops. So therefore, you need some external input of nutrients. Externally, nutrients should be applied, but they are not applied. If they are not applied, then decline in soil fertility. Now you see for each ton of cereal grain, how much nutrients are removed. And every student in this class must remember these values. Here and there, they will be asked from you that 1 ton of cereal like maize, wheat, or rice, or barley, or sorghum, whatever these cereal crops are there, they remove 20 to 27 kilogram of nitrogen per ton of grain. Suppose you harvest 1 ton of grain of rice from certain area. That means you have removed 20 to 27 kilogram of nitrogen in 1 ton grain plus straw. Actually, this value is for grain plus straw. So because in producing, you cannot produce just grain. When you produce grain, straw is always there. So this 20 to 27 kg nitrogen is removed by grain as well as by straw to produce 1 ton of grain. Remember like this. So same is for phosphorus, potassium. So for phosphorus, about 10 to 19 kg P2O5 and 22 to 48. So see potassium. Potassium uptake in cereal is slightly more than nitrogen. Slightly more than nitrogen. You can see 22 to 48 kg K2O are removed. So very high quantity. If you produce 10 tons of grain of maize, then see how much nutrients will be removed. And no farmer will replenish the same quantity of nutrients. Now, physical degradation of soil. So broken soil is due to poor management. Broken soil structure induce compaction by machinery, by grazing animals, and so on. Surface crusting can also happen, and undesirable waterlogging reduces soil fertility. And several management practices can reduce the soil structure. The excessive soil tillage may be responsible for deterioration of soil structure. This excessive soil tillage can also result in soil compaction and deterioration of soil structure. The compaction of soil reduces large pore. So compaction has problem, it reduces the large pores and adversely affect the aeration of the soil and water relations in the soil and also the root growth. Now, decrease in organic matter content. I think many times I told you that organic matter levels are decreasing in the soil and it causes decline in fertility. You understand role of organic matter in protection of soil, in enhancing the physical condition, chemical conditions. Now you see decrease in soil organic matter. There are reasons. Why there is decrease in organic matter content in soil. So see the inputs, animal and plant manures. Now the area under green manure crops is continuously declining in India. Just few years back, it was about 10 million hectare area under green manure crops in India. But now, if you see the data, it may be around somewhere around 5 to 6 million hectare. I need to check it, but it is decreasing very fast. The area under green manure crops in India is declining. And you see, due to increased mechanization in Punjab, Haryana, some other parts where you are growing cereal-based cropping systems. So in those systems, you are keeping less number of animals. Now farmers are keeping hardly milching animals. They are not keeping draft animals, bullocks or something like that. So the animal manures availability at the end of certain farmers is declining. So it means where from they will bring the organic matter. And under those mechanized conditions, they are also burning the residues. The organic biomass is burnt. So that is the reason that the inputs are not coming in right proportion, right amounts. So crop residues, litters, root, stubbles, mulches, of course, these are the sources, and root exudates are the sources. And losses are soil erosion, organic matter can be lost. Decomposition, CO2 in the form of CO2 or methane. Leaching of dissolved organic carbon can go to groundwater. Loss of nutrients through various routes like nitrogen is lost by volatilization, leaching, etc. Soil acidification, salinization, you know the reasons of soil acidification, salinization, and alkalinization. Now, soil pollution. So, variety of pollutants are reaching our soil. Some are reaching by natural means, and some are by man-made activities. Uh, Man is throwing a lot of chemicals into the soil for insect pest, disease management, and also for water conservation. They are using some chemicals. So those chemicals are not good. And polythene is also reaching the farmlands. So through manures, if you buy compost or farmyard manure or any other organic manure, urban waste manures and so on. So you will find lot of polythene and wrappers, packets and waste polythene materials, and they are reaching our farmlands. So if polythene reaches our field, so it will affect your germination of the crop. So whenever seed germinate, if in its way polythene comes or any wrapper comes, then it will not germinate. It is getting very serious problem in germination. So, and also there may be certain residues from these polythene which will leach into the soil, and those kind of chemicals will adversely affect the soil organisms. So this soil pollution is really a threat to soil fertility and inefficient crop management. So farmers many times they do not bother about uh, practices which are sustainable. For example, insect pest and disease management. They try to resort to chemical measures. Instead, they go for chemical measures. But if they go for integrated pest management, disease management, integrated approaches, then they will pollute less. They will pollute their soil less. So microbial activity will be affected less. So management practices are important. For example, if they are using some uh, crop rotations, monoculture, if farmers are adopting monoculture, growing one kind of crop year after year, so it will be attacked more by insect pests and diseases, and it will remove the nutrients from the fixed depth of the soil, and also the microbial activity will decline. Microbial diversity will decline due to monoculture practices. So it is better to go for crop rotations. So also excessive tillage can induce erosion because tillage practices aerate the soil. So decomposition of organic matter will be accelerated, and that way your soil fertility will decline, and also excessive tillage can result in the soil compaction. Now, what can be done? So, just you have seen the list of certain reasons for decline in fertility. If you reverse these points, if you speak opposite of these points, then that will become the strategy to restore the fertility, to improve the fertility. So, preventing soil erosion, you can adopt certain measures, add organic matter, or I will discuss in brief about this. Or most of you understand how to restore the soil fertility. So preventing soil erosion, because it was a reason for decline in soil fertility. So we need to apply certain measures, enhancing soil organic matter, correction of soil pH, salinity, alkalinity, efficient crop management, proper tillage, efficient management of weeds, preventing soil pollution, and restoring soil biology. So preventing soil erosion, there are a number of strategies to prevent the soil erosion. Certain approaches belong to grasses, agroecological approaches. In hilly areas or slopy lands, you can plant your grasses in watershed areas so that erosion rates from the hills or hillocks decline. You can use certain windbreaks. You can adopt certain agroforestry or forestry measures. You can take certain engineering measures like making your dams, check dams or small dams on the hilly areas and so on. You can make watershed treatment to reduce the erosion. So number of strategies are there. Tillage can be controlled, your organic matter addition. So we understand what are the causes, we can correct those causes and preserve your soil. Preservation of soil is necessary. So steps should be taken to prevent the soil erosion. Next is enhancing soil organic matter content. You know the role of organic matter and you know how organic matter is lost. And now there is need to increase the organic matter content in the soil. So by adopting efficient crop management practices, integrated nutrient management practices, addition of organic matter in the soil through different sources, we can increase the level of organic matter in soil. Even prevention of erosion will help in increasing the organic matter content in the soil. Balanced fertilization is very, very important. Fertilization will result in balanced growth, particularly in case by balanced fertilization. Therefore, you will have increased levels of soil organic matter in the correction. So you can bring your acidic pH to neutrality or alkaline pH to alkaline to neutrality. So one got the techniques for amelioration of soil pH or improvement of soil pH. And efficient crop management means all agronomic practices should be good, like crop rotations or right quantity of water, balanced fertilization. All these agronomic practices should be used. Legumes should be taken in the rotation. These are the important agronomic practices. Adopting proper tillage of practices. So now variety of tillage are there, conservation tillage or minimum tillage, zero tillage. So now new concepts are coming which help in the restoration of soil fertility. They also restore the soil. The fundamental purpose of using mulch in conservation agriculture is to prevent the erosion of the soil. The main purpose is to prevent the erosion of the soil. Next benefit include moderation of soil temperature or your controlling weeds and some other purpose of mulching. But main advantage is preservation of soil. So proper tillage practices like conservation tillage can help in restoring or improving the soil fertility. Now, weeds definitely remove nutrients, so one should adopt efficient weed control measures. So you will get one course on weed management, whole course will deal on weed management. So you will see different practices of weed management. So if we control the weeds, we will stop losing nutrients to the weeds because they also remove large quantity of nutrients. And not only this, they can spread the insect pest and disease. They act as a host to many inoculums or many fungi or bacteria which cause damage to the crop. Preventing soil pollution means let us stop the entry of pollutants into the soil. Very simple strategy. So we should not allow pollutants entry into the soil. If we use manure, it should be properly sieved or by manual method, whatever method you use, you should remove the polythene from the manures. And care should be taken to prevent the heavy metal reaching the soil through irrigation water, certain natural fertilizers, and city compost. So city compost may contain some heavy metals. So those kind of manure should not be used. And it can come from irrigation water. Sometimes irrigation water can also have your heavy metals, particularly when farmers use sewage water or certain fertilizers like rock phosphate. Rock phosphate can contain certain heavy metals. So those kind of fertilizers should be tested before their use, do they have a safe level of heavy metals? And then restoring soil biology means your growth of organism should be restored. So soil pH needs to be corrected close to the neutral range, 6 to 7.5. Sufficient supply of organic matter should be given, means you want to increase microbial activity in the soil, and minimum use of chemicals and pesticides, minimum tillage, crop rotations, soil compaction should be reduced. In soil compaction is quite dangerous. So soil compaction can happen due to waterlogging. Continuous waterlogging can result in soil compaction. Other reason could be heavy machinery or grazing of animals. So what happens, this soil compaction, I think it will reduce bulk density or increase the bulk density. Soil compaction. What is your answer?
Increase.
Sir, increase the bulk density.
Increase.
It will increase or decrease?
Increase.
Increase, sir. Increase.
Okay. Okay. So it will increase the, so which is a good sign or bad sign?
Bad sign.
Bad
Sir,
sign.
both
Bad
beneficial and because in sandy soil,
So you explain it. Explain why it is good and bad. You explain it. Why it is bad?
sir, in
You
sandy
explain.
soil, in sandy soil compaction beneficial for to reduce infiltration and much more macrospore.
Good.
So it's beneficial for sandy soil and
Not
it's harmful
macropore.
for
Now
clay
you will
soil.
have more micropores.
No, more macropore, yes, sir.
Yeah. Next. Yeah. And in
And
heavy
in
soil.
clay soil, it's causes drainage problem and it causes the restriction of root growth and development.
Very good. So now suppose your soil gets compacted. Now what can we do to overcome this problem? How it can be corrected?
So it can be corrected to reduce the compaction for subsoiling and deep rooted crop rotation with deep rooted crop, and also to reduce the pressure area of the heavy use of machineries and
Very
use
good.
wide tires and also width between the tires.
Yeah, this is very good answer.
And control traffic farming is also, sir, control traffic farming.
Okay. So I think he has suggested very good strategy that we should see how the soil compaction can be reduced. So he suggested subsoiling. So why subsoiling? Compaction may be there in just 30 centimeter. So why subsoiling? Because the soil compaction, continuous soil compaction will result in formation of a hard pan below the plow layer. So what happens, you need to break that layer also. It is not just soil compaction. It is accompanied by formation of a hard pan or layer below it. So you need subsoiling. You need a heavy plow that can break that particular layer, and also that can break these compacted soils. So it is very good answer, and other options could be adoption of crop rotations, deep-rooted crop, and all these, and addition of organic matter, because addition of organic matter will decrease or increase the bulk density. Addition of,
Sir, addition of organic matter decrease the compaction and bulk density.
okay, very good. So we need to restore the biology, and same, you can just go on thinking. If you stop the erosion, your soil biology will improve. If you add organic matter, your soil biology will improve. If you improve physical conditions of the soil, your soil biology will improve. If you improve chemical condition like pH, your soil biology will improve. So actually, we should try to develop our thinking. Our thinking we should try to develop, so that we can analyze that how one is related to other. Actually, we should learn the things in totality, in a harmony, in a harmonious way, that every aspect is covered. That is a holistic approach. I can say holistic approach means where we give thrust or emphasis on all aspects. So we try to relate one to other. So because any aspect is very complex. Anything is very complex, and we need to understand from all angles, all perspectives. If we can think, we can understand the thing. So thinking is very important. First, you put a heading, anything before you. Just give your thinking. Just have some ideas, maybe good or bad. Then that is a good way to learn. That is learning. That is self-learning. You use your brains. You use your brains and make it think. Force your brain to think on any subject which may be interesting or disinteresting. So that way we learn ourselves. We learn ourselves. Everything is not written in books. There are a lot of things which learn ourselves. So we try to do that. And the last thing is that many of you are having seminar. So tomorrow are two seminars, one at 11 and another at 12. And in the afternoon also, tomorrow you will have one thesis seminar by a student, Amlan Sarkar or Amlan something. Amlan Nath, I think, whatever is there, he's Amlan. So there are 3 seminars tomorrow. So just last thing is that you see this slide. See this slide before you. See, I have left some space on the left side, lot of space on the left side, lot of space on the right side, lot of space on. So try to make such, because when and even this content can be reduced. So this is effective slide. These kind of slides are effective. If I reduce the matter on this slide, it will become more effective, I can tell you. And see, on all the sides, you should leave the margins. See, in this side, it is very large margin, but we should try to leave the margins, because whenever you present in any online or offline, wherever you present, many times our mismatch is there, mismatch of our slide and the machine we use, there is mismatch. So people will not see your complete slide. But if your slide contains most of the things in the center of the slide, center of the slide means very little risk is there. In this case, everybody will see, every machine will show it. So that was my last comment. And now, if you have any question, anything you want to ask from this topic or previous topic, please discuss. Your questions are open. And I think recording can be stopped, Plomi.